Talk about. Now, you all know I stay in my lane. I don't dabble too much in entertainment, but I'm finding myself landing there today. I try to stay in my lane. I try not to do gossip. I try not to do politics and all that. I'm all about helping build up my people, exposing the greatness of everyday people, giving us the tools that can help us advance in our territories, the stuff that I talk about all the time, right? But this here kind of struck me uh, because it has a lot to do with what I do. Now, you all know I'm always talking about the media and the part that we play in the media and how it's important to build Black owned media, right? So, for the most part, I think the general public understands that there is a difference between news and gossip. Clearly, you all are very intelligent people. The people are smart. The people know what they want. The public gets it. You know, we the people who are in media to some degree, we work for the people, and the people have the right to demand what they want and say what they want. And numbers don't lie. When you all give people numbers, you're pretty much saying that's what you want, right? So I just want to talk a little bit about how the blogging world has really taken over how we get our information and how we get our news. You know, uh, I'm not going to bring forth the data and all of that stuff. I'm going to reserve that for the magazine and the articles and the written content. Today, I'm just going to lay out some commentary, some opinion. I'm going to give my spiel on what I think, right? So, in the news right now, probably as we speak, taking place is a trial that I believe is in federal court in New York, where a popular blogger by the name of Tasha K is being sued by I want to call her a personality and a rapper, but Cardi B, she is kind of across the board with her talent. So I guess she's a rapper. I'm not sure what to classify her as. She's an entertainer for sure. But there were some allegations, or there was some, I got to keep up with the terminology. There was some rumors that Tasha K, the blogger on YouTube, who is successful in her own right, um, she has said some things in the past about Cardi B. Cardi B said they were lies, they were false, and ultimately it landed them in court. And this was like what, a year ago? And I've been following it just recently because it has a lot of things that I'm interested in, right? The whole information being turned into social media platforms is like dynamic to me. So I'm a student to that. I'm a student to learning how this thing works. I am into libel, defamation, and all of that because I'm a journalism major. So media ethics and law is huge for me. And I have a law degree. Not a JD, but I do have a law degree, a master of jurisprudence and intellectual property. So all of these things that is covered in this case are just in the realm of what it is that I do and that I'm interested in. So this case is really interesting to me. And it's given so many people content because it has so many layers that are new. So this personality, blogger, I don't know, I guess, she has like 1 million viewers and she said some things, and Cardi B wanted her to take it down, gave her a chance to kind of humble herself and remove it, but she kind of doubled down and didn't. And like I said, instead of settling the case, it landed her in court. Apparently, this judge said, you should settle it. you shouldn't fight this case, which is not normal for a judge to do. And she ended up having issues with how her attorney is arguing the case for her. So it doesn't look like that she's going to come out on the winning end of it, to make a long story short. And it's so many people out here covering this story right now. So if you are interested in finding out the gossip and the tea and the history, you can jump on to, I know Hip Hop Inquirer is handling it. The lead attorney on YouTube, he's doing great work. Like, these are people who are showing up to the courtroom, doing the work. This is what real journalists do, get the story for real. And there are a lot of people who are kind of repeating what the people who have their boots on the ground and actually doing the work. It's a lot of that going on, but that brings me to my point. So what my point is that when the people find someone that they're interested in and someone that they want to trust to give them information, there are some things that you have to check out for. Do they check sources? Do they bring in? See, this is very important. This is why I don't like. This is why I don't like being young in this YouTube thing, and not having an established audience. And this is my fault, because this is my choice. But it makes it hard for me to come across as credible when giving you all information, when I don't bring sources on to verify and validate the information that I bring forward. So my reason for saying that is because when people don't do that, you might want to question their intentions. So, because a lot of people just want to be popular, and for me, what I'm trying to do is build an audience. And so it looks crazy for me to say to somebody, oh yeah, could you come sit on my show? I have, and show them my analytics. They're like, no. Why would I waste my time with you? No. So I'm just trying to build my audience, build likability with people who are willing to trust me and trust me with giving them information and resources that can help them. So I'll get there. But when you have already thousands and thousands of people watching you, and it's a one-man show or a one-woman show or a one-team show, and you're not bringing people in to sit on the panel with you, to have conversations with you, to verify the things that you are saying, to hold you accountable to what you are saying, that's a problem. And when I was watching this blogger's show, I know that she said that she verified her sources and things like that. And sometimes I saw that she would have people come in and say things about other people. But it was always done from a rumor, gossip type perspective to me. And that's a problem for me, because I still believe in journalistic integrity. I believe in really having valuable sources, people with some type of credibility speaking up and saying things. And it makes it so that I think that it kind of blurs the line of what is journalism and what is just stuff. And when I was leaving college, when I was in undergrad and I was leaving, this was my fear. I was like, a change is occurring and in the media. And what is going to happen is that real journalistic integrity is going to dwindle, because you have so many untrained, unprofessional people who are pretending to be something that they are not. And, it's unfortunate that real truth tellers, real storytellers, real people who practice true journalism do not have to get some type of, credentialing. There was one point where you would have to, in order to cover certain topics, of course, you would have to get press passes. Like if you look into how the White House is covered, you have to have credentials, press credentials to even, and I think you have to, I mean, there's a criteria. I don't know what it is, but there was a time when you had, in order to, for people to come to you and to talk to you, you had to have some level of credibility. Now it's just like any and everybody can have an opinion or say so over something. And it doesn't have to be verified. It doesn't have to be validated. It does not even have to be credible. And the people look at it as, well, since I saw it, since I heard it, it must be true. And I have a problem with that. I haven't figured out um like what is the appetite for this type of media, and have professional media done this to the people. Like, what happened? What is going on? I feel like I'm in this world of chaos because I am someone who does believe in doing things with integrity, and kind of by the book, but I know there's a lot of people who are not like that. And I've mentored some that are not like that, young people who see things in a different way, and actually sometimes is really good. And what have been created on YouTube and on other platforms, it's a good thing. But when you get things like this into the fold, where people are defaming other people's character, where there's a lot of libel, when you say something against someone's character and it's false, you don't have proof to back it up, you never spoke to this person to clarify. That's something that people talk about Wendy Williams back in the day and how she was. One thing Wendy Williams did was she spoke to the source. Like, her messiness was actually talking to the person she was talking about. And even with that, as much as it was disliked by a lot of people and how hardcore she was, they would be face to face conversations. It wouldn't be rumor mill stuff that, you know, would spark a lot of the follow up that would come from her interviews. It was her actually talking to people, at least from what I can remember. Like I said, I haven't always been an entertainment news person. I have never really been a gossip news person. So, well, Wendy, was Wendy gossip on the radio? I can't even remember. But to my point, it's just hard for me to um, dig my heels into what is really taking place with how we receive our information right now. And I even noticed this. Um, I rarely comment in popular people's comment section because I don't want my notifications going off like crazy because I'm not a popular person, and so I'm not used to that, and it distracts me. So I made a comment in Roland Martin Unfiltered. It wasn't commentary. I think it was a post. So it was a post about having credible sources. And I was made a point that you even have to be careful with considering a source credible based off of their degree level, because there are some sources who have high level degrees, but they have not put in a lot of work to be considered credible. They just have the titles. And people went crazy. I was like, you would think I said something wrong, but do we not know people are paying for degrees? Didn't one woman, just do some time and pay some fines for paying for her son's education? Do we not know that? I mean, like, we went through a whole Trump's presidency. What have he earned? to acquire the job and do it well. So we live in that type of world. So I don't know why that came as a shock to some people. And I'm not saying that people who don't have degrees are not talented, because I know some people who do not have degrees who are just mighty whips, and they can create and do and prosper just as well as someone. I mean, and everybody who have degrees, is not doing, great things. Some people are just sitting on them. And so I was just taken aback by the fact that people did not want to accept that or receive that. And I'm just like, I'm confused, because people just live in this delusional world. Like, what is happening to our society to where people do not want wisdom and understanding? And I know for sure that that in this age of information, there's a lot of people who think that it's just way too much information out there. And so people are just consuming information, but people are not being able to break it down and make sense of it as they consume it. It just kind of just passes through, and they can't do anything with it. And to a degree, that's true. But at what point do we fix it? Like, what do we do to fix it? How do we have it so that people who are delivering good content, real content, content that matters, are reaching the people and are impactful to the people, to get them thinking, to get them motivated to believe that that they're capable, and to know truly what's going on. It's like nobody really trusts anything anymore. And then what they're interested in, because the numbers don't lie, is gossip that tear other people down and make them look bad. And the thing for me, with Tasha K and Cardi B, was I have seen, and like, my introduction to Cardi B was on, I just hear a loud person just being loud, and she's a lot of personality. So initially I was just like, they are two of a kind of. And so I guess it's no surprise that they bump heads, because they are both kind of loud, tell it like it is, say what they want, just spill anything out. But one thing about Cardi B, she doesn't have a mean spirit about her. For me, when I watched some of Tasha K's stuff, she seemed a little mean spirited, some of the things that she would say. And so, I mean, I did try to get into it, but a lot of times I would have to turn it off, because she would say things, and I was just like, "Oh, that's low," Why you say that, girl? But that's just my preference. But I have that, and a lot of people don't, and they like it, and so it shocks me. But I'm really interested in seeing, after this case, where where blogging goes, because I like it. I like having the freedom to have commentary and have opinion and tell our news and have our people engaged. But I just think that it has to happen in a healthy way. All of this bashing and hating, and it's just sick, and it's weird, and it is attractive to people. And I can't understand why people are so attracted to it. Why are y'all so attracted to it? Help me understand that. But I'm interested in finding out what will come out of it when this case is resolved and there's a judgment. If it's going to, I think it'll have an impact. I definitely think that it will have classes and journalism programs talking about it for years to come, probably in law schools. I'm sure that they will use this case for a lot of reasons, for so many reasons, because the defense is not well prepared at all. So there's so many areas where law schools can show their students of like what not to do. But follow it. Go, like I said, check out Hip Hop Inquirer and some of the lead attorneys' recent posts about Tasha K and Cardi B. They did a really good job covering it. And you see especially with the Hip Hop Inquirer, I had no idea who he was, but I love to see good journalism at work. And he's a veteran journalist doing great work and surrounded around topics that our culture are interested in. So, yeah, check that out. So, moving on, I'm interested in following up on that. So, y'all follow it with me so y'all can keep up. So, y'all keep what's going on because I can't get into the gossip end of it, but I really want to understand the journalistic integrity part of it and the ethics part of it. Like, let me just back up. Now, my question is, I'm just going to say this real fast and then I'm going to move on. My question is, what I want to see is if individuals will straighten up and clean up. Will it cause people like, man, I may lose money? You know, if I say something about somebody, it's a possibility that, new cases like this set a precedent. You know, there is case law and that matters. So, will it set a precedent where people will hold themselves accountable? I know YouTube isn't going to do anything. At least I don't think so. I'm sorry. Do you get in trouble for speaking against the platform that you probably not? But I mean, they benefit from it. So why would they change anything if they're not doing any illegal works? So moving on to my next topic. I usually try to do something culture related, and that's some culture news that I thought was worth bringing up because it's stuff that we pay attention to. The next time